Hi folks, Mark Ritchie here from Workplace Wizards. We're down on Nelson Place in Williamstown, and Hobsons Bay City Council has asked us to put together some videos about the COVID crisis at the moment. We're workplace experts here, we're lawyers, we're experienced in navigating our leaders through crisis and conflict and difficulty at work, and we are getting flooded with queries on the pandemic and what should you guys as business leaders be doing in your businesses. Well, first, it's important to distinguish where you're sitting in terms of a slowdown versus a stoppage of work, and I'll use those terms, those legal terms, explain them a little bit more in a moment. But we're all experiencing a downturn. I think you'll probably see an empty office behind me here. All of my staff are working from home, and really that's the starting point. If you can have your staff usefully engaged working from home, then the government is encouraging businesses to do that. And I would certainly encourage that as the first lever that you should look to pull as business owners. If you can't do that, then you've got to consider that next lever, a range of flexibility measures. What can you do? Now, for some businesses in Hobsons Bay, of course, cafes, restaurants, travel agencies, there is absolutely no work. You cannot open. Your employees cannot be usefully engaged. You have a stoppage for most, if not all, of your workforce. So we'll talk about that as a stand down or redundancy later on. But for the rest of us, that second lever, if you can't usefully engage your employees at home, then you're looking to talk one-on-one with your employees about flexibility measures. Hey, can you work 2 days a week and take 3 days annual leave? Can you go on half pay? We need to renegotiate your minimum hours as a part-time employee. Let's have a conversation and then codify that in a new agreement. Why don't you take long service leave for a month and then come back to us? Why don't you take unpaid leave for a bit? All of these levers that you can try and pull, these conversations to have about how you might be able to minimise the effect of the downturn on the employee's pay, minimise the effect on their lives, get them earning some income during this period, with a view that they're going to remain your employee, and when things do turn, whether it's in a week or in a year, but hopefully around that sort of 6, 8, 12 week mark or so, then you've still got your staff to reopen your shop, your cafe, your factory, whatever, and then you can charge ahead together. Lever 3, if you are unable to work from home, if you're unable to have those flexibility measures, lever 3 is if you are experiencing a stoppage of work, you are prevented from opening, you are prevented from trading, you have no work, then that's known at law as a stand down. So you'll hear a lot about Section 524 of the Fair Work Act, which a lot of employers, such as Qantas, are relying on at the moment to say we are prevented from employing our staff at the moment. The government restrictions or the social distancing or the prohibition on opening your pub and having customers. Those sort of things under 524, under a stand down, you have to demonstrate a stoppage of work. That then enables you to put your employees on the bench. You can send them home. We have no work for you. You remain our employee, but we're not going to pay you for the duration of the stand down. A lot of tricky rules around that. Check out some of the other blogs on this channel, some of the information on our website at workplacewizards.com.au. But obviously, the ability to not pay your employees for a period, but keep them your employees, there's a lot of technical rules around that. But that's the lever 3 that many businesses, pubs, restaurants, cafes, theatres, whatever it might be in Hobsons Bay, that's where they're at the moment, and they're standing down their employees. Importantly, those employees can get access to government benefits. They can get the dole while they're still employed. Extraordinary times. But that is available to them, known as the Job Seeker Allowance. Get on the Centrelink website, have a look at that. There is the ability for your employees to get money even though you've got them on unpaid stand down, and that's really important for employers. Then and only then we encourage you to look at lever 4. If stand down isn't going to work, if you need something more permanent, if you have to remodel and restructure your workforce, then that last resort, if you like, is restructuring your workforce, making redundancies and paying out employees a severance package as a result of them not having employment with your company anymore. If you're a small business, you're exempt from having to pay that severance. So that's important. Have a look at our website around what that definition is, or our live chat on the website, and I'm happy to walk you through that. Otherwise, you look at Section 119 of the Fair Work Act, which has a table about, if Johnny's been with you for 3 years, it might trigger 6 weeks of severance pay, that sort of thing. Try and avoid as a last resort. Work those 3 levers beforehand. Try and get through and keep your staff looking after your tribe, keeping your business afloat, managing your cash flow. Best of luck with it. We're here at Workplace Wizards on Nelson Place in Williamstown if you need some specialist assistance, but fingers crossed your business pulls through.